Hi, my name is Janice, Fitness and Sports Instructor at CFB Kingston. Today I have for you a flexibility and mobility workout, which means that we're going to do some work with the foam roller and do some work with some deep stretching. So you will need a foam roller of some sort. Doesn't matter if it looks like this foam roller with the bumpy edges or if you've got a nice smooth one, any one will do. We're going to work on the 6 most popular areas to foam roll, and we are going to foam roll first. Foam rolling helps to increase blood flow and circulation to the muscles and to the fascia. So we are going to do that just to wake up those muscles first before we start to get more into the deep stretching. So starting off, we're going to start with the calf area, the soleus and the calf. So we are going to start down just above that Achilles tendon, getting deep into that soleus and up into the calf. So your option here, you can just lift those hips up as you start to roll slowly, or for a deeper pressure, you can cross the opposite leg over. So you get that weight from that leg pushing down into the roller as well. So we're just going to roll slowly from the bottom up towards the knee, rocking side to side, going to the inside leg of the leg, outside. Just trying to increase that blood flow, circulation to those muscles. Wake them up so we can get deeper into those stretches in the second part of the workout. You can also flex and point that toe, especially when you find those sore spots. We're not going to focus too much on getting deep into those adhesions today. The goal of our foam rolling today is just to wake up those muscles. So you want to come up to the top part of that muscle, but stopping short of the back of the knee. You don't want to roll right into the back of the knee. All right, and then we're going to switch to the other side. So once again, starting just above that Achilles tendon, slowly rolling up towards the knee. Work through those calves, woken up those muscles. Now we're moving into the hamstring. So that back part of the thigh. Once again, you want to come above the back of that knee. Lifting the hips up off the floor. We're going to slowly start to roll up towards the glutes. Once again, rocking side to side slightly. Trying to hit the outer edge and the inner edge of those muscles. 3 heads of those hamstrings that come down the back of the leg. Try to wake up each head. cross over again if you want. Add a little extra pressure. And get some deep stretching of those hamstrings today. Try and loosen them up a little bit. Get to the top, stopping just shy of those sits bones. We'll get into those glutes in just a moment. All right, and then switching to the other leg. Once again, just above that knee. Rolling slowly, slowly, making sure to hit inside and outside edge of that thigh. Next up, we've got the glutes. I'm going to turn to face you just slightly. So you're going to bring that foam roller under the buttocks, just above those sits bones. Same leg that the foam roller is underneath. You're going to cross that one over the opposite knee and lean slightly towards that same side. So I'm under the left, got my left ankle over the right knee, and I'm leaning slightly to the left to apply a little more pressure. Kind of get deep into those glutes. See if we can hit that piriformis muscle. Deep under those glutes. So once again, moving slowly, rocking back and forth, in and out. Trying to hit that gluteus medius, minimus, and maximus. Always make sure you're moving slowly when you're foam rolling. To the other side. For me, it's the right. Bring it under that right buttock. Right ankle comes over left knee and slightly leaning towards the right side. Starting right down around those sits bones and gently massaging that buttocks region. Rocking side to side slightly. You roll slowly from those sits bones and up towards that lower back. Trying to hit all areas of those gluteal muscles. to the front of the leg. We're not going to foam roll the quads today. We're going to focus more on that hip flexor region, the psoas, that region that tends to get very tight as many sit at their desks all day long working on computers. Those hip flexors tend to shorten. So you're going to bring that foam roller just below that, where that hip folds, that hip crease. So just below there, laying over the roller. Other leg can just be bent at the side. You're slowly going to roll up towards that hip point. You know, that bone that you feel out on the outside of that hip, lower abdominal region. So we're coming up slowly. To wake up those hip flexors. We're going to get deep into those with some stretches today as well. A little slide back and forth. Out to the side. Slowly rolling up towards that lower abdominal region. Mid-back region. So you're going to bring the foam roller under that mid-back, right around the shoulder blades. Knees can just be bent. Just laying back across that roller. Option here for your arms. Cross them along your chest. Bring them behind your head or up overhead. And you're just going to extend back as far as is comfortable and then coming back up. Try to keep that chin tucked in towards that chest. Moving slowly here, allowing that roller to roll up the back as you arch over the roller and then rolling down the back as you come back up. Feeling a few cracks, pops here. Feel free to continue rolling on each of these sections if you so choose, or come back and revisit each section at the end if you want a little bit more of a roll. All right, last area we are going to roll today is those lats. that muscle that comes down the back side of the body and comes right down. Often forgotten about. So we're going to start down by the lower part of the ribs, just under that shoulder blade. And you're going to come leaning slightly backwards, opening that chest. Arm, you can start it down on the side, you can bring it up, it's up to you. You're just going to roll up towards that armpit. It is a little bit awkward. And as you get closer to the back of the shoulder and armpit area, it is going to be slightly painful. If you want to hold here, you can swing that arm up overhead, bring it down, trying to hit different areas of that muscle, waking that up. Highly neglected area when people are stretching and rolling as well. So it's a great area to mobilize. When you're ready, switching over to the other side. Slightly. Sweep that arm if you so choose. Bring a little bit more of a massage. Waking it up a little bit more. You may find one side a little more painful and tight than the other. That's normal. All right, we're done with that roller. You can just set it aside as we get a little more into some mobility exercises. So we're going to start on all fours, sitting back into a child's pose. From here, you're going to inhale, come forward, drop that belly towards the ground and those hips as we come into cobra. Inhale, sit it back into child's pose. Exhale, coming through to cobra, drop that belly. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Inhale back. Exhale forward. One more in each direction. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Coming into tabletop position. Move into cat and cow. Inhale, drop that belly. Push that chest down, bringing your gaze upward. Exhale, tucking the tailbone, pushing that back up towards the ceiling, dropping the chin towards chest. Inhale, belly drops. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin. Inhale, up. Close it in. Inhale up. Exhale, close it in. One more in each direction. Inhale up. Exhale, close it in. Coming back to that neutral tabletop position. You're going to step the right hand forward or the right foot forward, between those hands. Extending left leg long, along the mat behind you. From here, on the inhale, you're going to sweep those arms up, pushing the left hip down towards the ground. And then exhale, sit those hips back, straighten that front leg, and bring the chest down towards the knee, lifting that front toe. Inhale, come forward, reaching up. Exhale, sit it back. Opening up through that hip, mobilizing those hamstrings. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Make sure you're leading with your chest. Inhale forward. Exhale back. One more in each direction on this side. Inhale forward. Exhale back. We're going to switch legs, so bringing that right knee back. Left foot comes forward between the hands. Right leg long on that mat. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, straighten that front leg, sit those hips back, bringing chest towards knee. Lifting those toes. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Only sitting back as far as is comfortable. Inhale forward. If bringing the hands up overhead proves to be a little too much, you can always just bring the hands to the front thigh. Making sure you're still pushing that hip down towards the ground. And one more in each direction. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Sitting back. Bringing the left knee back under those hips. Hands under shoulders. We're going to tuck those back toes under and push up into a downward facing dog. From here on the next inhale, you're going to step right foot outside, right hand coming into a nice low lunge. And then we're going to reach that right hand up towards the ceiling. Bringing it back down, placing it back inside the right foot, stepping back into that downward facing dog. Next inhale, step the left foot forward, rotating through that upper spine, reaching up towards the ceiling, and bringing it back to the mat inside the foot, stepping back into downward facing dog. Inhale, forward, rotate. Inhale, hand down. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, down. Exhale, back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, walk those hands forward towards the hands. Exhale into that forward fold. Inhale, bend those knees, sweep the arms up, reverse swan dive, coming together overhead and just coming down into mountain. We're going to go through 2 quick sun salutations. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive to forward fold. Inhale, step the right foot back, step the left foot back to meet it. Exhale, bending those elbows, dropping the chest towards the ground. Coming here to upward facing dog. Tuck those toes to downward facing dog. Step the right foot forward. Left foot comes up to meet it in forward fold. Bend those knees. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, coming down to the heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Step the left foot back. Step the right foot back to meet it. You're in that plank. Bending those elbows, coming down to crocodile. Sweeping through to upward facing dog. Tuck the toes to downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot steps forward. Right foot comes to meet it. Forward fold. Inhale, bending those knees, reverse swan dive. And we meet in mountain. All right, I'm gonna have you come to face the long edge of your mat. From here, we're going to bring our feet about hip width, a little wider, maybe shoulder width apart. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, you're gonna bring those arms down, kind of goalpost arms. We're gonna start to sit those hips back and down as we come into a nice deep squat position. Toes are turned out. You can bring those hands to prayer at heart center as we come into a nice deep yogi squat. Trying to open up the hips here. You can rock side to side a little if that helps. If it's more comfortable, you can bring the hands down towards the ground. Even just rest them up on top of those thighs. Try to drop those hips a little lower. Making sure that your heels are staying on the ground. Inhale, exhale, you're going to come forward slightly, bringing those hands to the ground, extending those legs as you push the hips up towards the ceiling. Hands can rest comfortably on the ground if they reach. If they do not reach, just come as far as is comfortable. And then we're going to heel toe our feet a little bit wider here, still pointing those toes outward as we come into a deep straddle pose. Stretching down through the hamstrings, low back, and a little bit into those calves. Just allowing that chest to fall towards the ground, and then relaxing the head. Avoid gripping the floor with your toes. Make sure you've got weight evenly distributed between both feet, inside and outside edge of the feet. I'm going to have you turn your left foot so that it's parallel to that short edge of your mat. You're going to start to walk the hands over to the right and open that right foot out to the right. You're going to come into pyramid pose on the right side. So keeping those legs straight, you're going to rotate those hips so that they're facing your right leg and reaching with that chest, trying to bring the chest down towards that knee without rounding too much through that upper body. If you need to use a block, or you can even bring your foam roller and put it behind your leg to get you into that right position. You should feel a nice deep stretch down the back of the leg on this one. You should be pushing your weight through the outside edge of that left foot. You're going to start to walk the hands back towards center. You're going to rotate that right foot so it is facing forward, parallel to the opposite short end of the mat. We'll walk over towards the left, opening that left foot out. So toes are perpendicular to that short end of the other side of the mat. You're going to rotate those hips so you're facing the left leg this time. Once again, you can bring that roller or a foam block behind the left leg if you need to. Bolster yourself up a little bit so you can keep that back straight and reach that chest down towards the knee. Making sure to keep the weight on the outside edge of that right foot. Reach long with that chest, pushing those hips back, pushing the left hip back as you pull the right one forward. Nice deep stretch through the hamstring on the left side. You're going to bend that left knee, pivoting on the right foot so you're coming up onto the toes, and then dropping the right knee down towards the mat. Hands are framing that left foot, uncurl the right toes. So we're in that low runner's lunge position. We're going to move into lizard pose here. So bringing the left hand inside the left foot, you're going to heel toe, walking that left foot out towards the outer edge of the mat. Making sure you're extending long with that right leg on the mat, pulling the right hip back and the left hip forward. If this is enough of a stretch for you for the front of the thigh, hip flexor region, that's fine. If you want more deeper stretch, you can come down onto those forearms on the mat. Just allowing that left knee to fall open just slightly. Feeling a nice opening in those hips. Coming back up onto those hands, you're going to walk that left foot back towards center. Left hand coming outside the left foot. Tuck the right toes under, lifting the knee up. We're going to step that left foot back into a downward facing dog, and then switch to the right side. Right foot comes up outside that right hand. Drop the left knee, uncurl the left toes. Walk that right foot to the outer edge of the mat. Pushing the left hip down towards the floor, pulling that right hip forward. Feel a nice stretch in the hip flexor on the left side. If this is enough of a stretch for you, you can stay here, or you can drop those elbows, come onto those forearms on the mat. Foot back towards the center of the mat. Right hand outside the foot. Tuck the left toes. Lift the left knee off the floor. Coming back into downward facing dog. We're just going to hang out here for a moment. Pushing through those fingertips, reaching those hips high. And we're going to pedal those feet. Stretching through the calves. Pushing one heel down towards the floor. Lifting the opposite. And then switching. Rising up onto the toes of both feet and then pushing both heels down towards the floor, coming into that full downward facing dog. Looking forward between the hands, coming forward to a plank and then dropping the knees down. We're going to flip onto our backs now. And slowly rolling down, so we're laying on the mat. Knees are bent. You're going to bring right ankle cross over the right or the left knee. Then reaching through, grabbing a hold behind the left leg. You're going to pull that leg in towards the chest. Both feet flexed, opening that right knee out to the side as we feel a nice stretch through the outside of the right hip and into the glutes. With each exhale, you can try to pull that left leg a little closer towards the chest, deepening that stretch. Left leg down to the floor, uncrossing the right ankle, and moving to the other side. Left ankle comes over right knee, reach through the leg, grabbing a hold behind the right leg, and pulling it in towards the chest, flexing both feet and opening that left knee out to the side. Giving a nice little tug, trying to pull the knee a little closer to the chest with each exhale. And returning the right foot back to the floor, uncurling that left ankle. Then we're going to pull the knees in towards the chest, opening the knees out to the side, reaching through to grab a hold of the instep of both feet, and then extending those legs up towards the ceiling, bending the knees and pulling them down towards the armpit area. We're coming into happy baby here. Fantastic stretch for opening up those hips. You want to keep your back long on the floor. Don't allow that lower back and hips to come up off the floor. Keep them down on the floor, lengthening through that spine. As you bend the knees and pull the legs in towards the armpits. If you want to rock side to side a little bit here, massage out that spine, go right ahead. Help to open up those hips a little bit more. Just allowing the weight of those hands to pull the legs down. Good, bringing the soles of the feet back together, releasing them and then bringing the knees back together. Giving them a little squeeze in towards the chest. You're going to drop the hands down to the sides, bringing them to a T at the sides. From here, you're going to drop both knees off to the left and bring the gaze over to the right as we come into a spinal twist. I want you to make sure that you are keeping that right shoulder down on the floor at all times. Next inhale, pulling the knees back up to center. So switch sides, dropping them over to the right, bringing the gaze over to the left, keeping that left shoulder down on the floor. seated cross-legged position. Hands can just relax on top of those knees, palms facing up. Sitting up tall on those sits bones, reaching the crown of the head up towards the sky. Grounding down and lengthening up. Just closing those eyes gently. We're just going to take a few calming breaths here. Inhale in. Exhale, sigh it all out. Inhale in. Exhale, sigh it all out. Big inhale. Sigh it all out. One more inhale. Sigh it all out. Opening those eyes. Thank you for joining me today in this flexibility and mobility workout. Hopefully you feel nice and stretched out, a little more mobile to take on the rest of your day. Have a good one, everybody.
PSP Kingston, the health and wellness provider for the military community.